Sup, nerds, I'm Wes.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Aaron.
We're Neverboard Gaming, and today we're looking at Shobu from Smirking Laughter.
Shobu is a strategy game in which you will be strategizing on how to take your opponent out. It is a really deep strategy game in which it's kind of like checkers or chess, but you move differently. You have kind of like a zen going on here. We got all these rocks and it's like kind of like just zen, because your first move.
It's a good description. It's very zen. You've got
Well,
rocks.
I was gonna say sand, but
zen.
we don't have the sand mat that went underneath it.
Aaron's never seen a thesaurus.
You will be taking a move on your turn. The first move has to be on your side of the rope, and you just move up to 2 spaces. You move 1 or 2, either straight or diagonal, and then you can repeat that move on either of the other colors. So if I move on the white board, I can move on either of the darker boards, the brown boards, and now I can move over here and do the exact same pattern that I did, but it doesn't have to be with the exact same rock, like from location. So you don't have to like match it up, kind of like.
Yeah, if you move up in the left corner, you don't have to move up in the left corner. You can just move up at any of these rocks as long as you're moving the same direction, same number of spaces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The point of the game is to knock all of your opponent's rocks off one of the boards out there.
But you're definitely going to have to use every board to kind of like set yourself up for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, because your first move has to be passive, so you can't knock somebody off with your first move. So obviously you have to move on one of the boards on your side to then slowly push everything off of the board on the other side.
When we were first playing this game, Kurt from Smirk and Dagger was saying that, be aware that you're going to lose a lot of stones early on, and then when you just have 1 or 2 per board is when it becomes 3D chess. I don't know if 3D chess per se is the right term, but it definitely does become super strategic towards the end there, because at first you're just like, I get one, you get one, I get one, you get one, just knocking everybody off, and then towards the end you're all like, whoa, hang on, like I don't want to be near the edge of the board ever at all. I want to end all in these squares in the middle, or I'm trying to set myself up for a move, but I have to have that move on another board already to be able to even do it, and I need to make sure that you don't see that move. Like, it does become very much like I don't know, fencing?
Yeah, and you say you want to be in the middle of the board, but because every rock can move 2 spaces and you can push your opponent's rock 2 spaces, there is no spot on the board that you can't be knocked off.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you're in the middle and somebody's all the way over here, at least you'll be like, okay, well then 1, 2, they'll just push me to the edge. Yeah. You feel safer. But
it's in relation to your opponents, because if your opponent has 2 pieces in the center, you want to be just far away from him, or you want to be like have stuff between him, like right next to him where your 3 spaces, or hide behind one of his rocks, because you can't push 2 rocks at a time. Yeah, you can only push 1. So, but again, there's nowhere that's really safe.
This game feels very classic. It feels like the first time you play it, you're like, wow, I kind of get it already. It feels like checkers. It feels like chess. It feels like Othello. Like, it just has that, like, how long has this game been around? Oh, it's fairly new. I mean, it could be something that's been,
it's an old family game that they developed into this.
But it just has that kind of classic feel, but it's definitely a new game that I've never played.
I think I remember Kurt saying that when this was first pitched to him, it was called at the time like sumo stones or something, because it kind of, you're trying to push yourself out of an area, trying to push your opponent out of an area. But he said he changed it to Shobu because he really wanted to give that, like you were saying, that zen, peaceful, chill type of feeling, and make it look like an ancient game that's been around for a while, even though it hasn't been. Like, just even including the rope and everything, the wood and the stones, like everything. Not only are the components good quality, but they add to almost the theme isn't necessarily right, but they add to like the atmosphere of the game.
Definitely like the tactile nature of like the cool stones on the actual wood, and like the rope that this is just decorative. Like, you do not have to have this, but tying it all together does make it such a pleasant experience, even though it is very aggressive, very like chess-like, where you're thinking and you're strategizing and you're trying to kill off your opponent. It does still have kind of that serenity to it of, you even have the like the knock sound. I don't know. It looks like it does have that feel. I would agree.
It only has that knock-knock sound when Wes plays because he needs to count out 2. 1, 2. Okay. Got
Got it.
But like, if this was just on like a fold-out cardboard board with, you know, standees or just meeples, like, the gameplay would be identical, but I do not think I would like it as much. Is kind of what I'm trying to get to. Is the presentation of the game and the pieces that they use add to my enjoyment of the game so much.
The last strategy game like this that I really liked was the Duke. And it kind of almost has the same feeling. It doesn't have like the special moves where you're like, okay, we're gonna move over and this way and that way, and like, oh, this guy can like jump super far, like more like chess. This is definitely more checkers like in the movement where you're just like, okay, 1 or 2. There's no jumping, but there's like, you know, pushing, and I don't know. I definitely like it. It's light. It's very easy to teach. Like, you learn it right away. It's like, okay, your first move, just move any one of your rocks on this side of the string, 2 spaces. Now you can do the same thing on the opposite color board, and that one you can actually push rocks off with. And that's it. Like, anybody can play this. Like, grandparents, kids,
babies, dogs.
Babies that won't try and eat the rocks.
It definitely is. That's one of the big draws to it, is how easily and quickly you can teach this to people and still have that like good game, and it plays fairly quickly. It says 20 minutes in the box. That's probably about right. You can probably get it down to like 15 if you're playing with someone who's not very good or that makes a bad move. But yeah, this checks a lot of boxes in my box book.
You know, the book of boxes. So in general, I don't really like abstract games all that much. I tend to not care for them, especially chess-like movement ones like the Duke. But because this game is so simple and so straightforward and so quick, yet still has a lot of strategy. Like, checkers is quick too, but that doesn't mean I enjoy it. This one is fast and simple, but has a lot of depth to the moves you're trying to make. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I'm making an exception for Shobu with my don't really enjoy abstract games sort of thing that I do. And hey, if any of that, what we were talking about in this video, sounds interesting to you, we're going to have a purchase link for Shobu in the description box down below. Go grab yourself a copy.
Either way, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored. What's up, nerds? I'm Wes.
I'm Tom over here.
This is Tom.
All this stuff right here is Tom. Excuse me, sir. What's that? Oh, this? That's Tom.